in this life. The wrong impression, I only have one to make. You can open your palm, waiting to catch a break. The cards will fall where they may. And what about me? Precious, it's yours, it's mine, only one at a time.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And our coverage tonight at the American Airlines Center, where the Dallas Mavericks will be going up against the Chicago Bulls. For Chicago, they want to come out of the gates strong tonight. We've heard them talk about establishing the upper hand right away, not sitting back and playing it safe in the early stages. And Coach Fred Hoiberg, the mayor, a decade in the NBA, then a successful run coaching Iowa State. How do you think he's doing with the Bulls, Kenny?
It's a tough act to follow with Tom Thibodeau departing. That's tough. But, his nice guy demeanor can win the team over. A lot of new players, a lot of new things. It's tough. Good luck.
You know, he's faced some criticism. Players say he needs to coach harder. Takes time. They just got to stick with him.
That'll wrap it up as we take you courtside. Thank you for joining us.
We've got NBA basketball in store for you. We're live at the American Airlines Center. We're in Dallas, Texas, the home of the Mavericks. All live on 2K Sports. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. And before this...
Well, Kevin, he said defensively their main
Okay, David, much appreciated. And for the Mavericks, clearly the rebuild, Greg, has begun.
Yeah, but they made good use of their picks. They brought in more youth and signed their building blocks. Franchise isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. Mirotić at the power forward with Lopez in the middle. And it's Wade in at the three, the small forward. In the corner, Smith with it, over Dunn, and it's Smith that time on the assist by Noel. Smith's got the opening basket of the game for the Mavs. Now, here's Dunn, covered by Smith. Dunn dishes to Wade. Puts one up from 19. The Mavericks pull it in.
Boy, Kevin, he just clanked that one. I mean, surprising because the defense wasn't really in the picture.
Stolen by Levine. Kicks it to Wade. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Kevin, I like what Levine showed there, not getting so locked in to his own offense. Keeps his head up, finds the open man.
And you look at all the accomplishments, all the great moments from Wade's career. No doubt he is going to the Hall as soon as he's eligible. One of the greatest two guards to ever play.
Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Dunn kicks to Lopez. Feeds to Mirotić. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls.
Well, one thing you like there is the extra pass. Evidence that the game is starting to slow down for Dunn.
And it's shocking when you look at the numbers that Wade has had over the years. He never won an MVP award. Certainly, Greg played like an MVP in some of his seasons.
But the rest of the accolades are there for D. Wade. All the trips to the All-Star game, the first team, all defense, the all-NBA teams. But most important to him and his legacy are the 3 NBA titles.
The 17-footer. Offensive rebound. Lopez. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Lopez has got his first bucket in this one.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
And stolen by Mirotić. A floater. This is to Dunn. Lopez against Noel. Lopez passes to Wade. It's rebounded by Dallas.
You know, this just hasn't been his quarter. I mean, he doesn't seem to be comfortable at all, particularly shooting. I mean, he knows he's struggling right now.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Measuring, he's checked in for Noel. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. Curry's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Curry. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. The Bulls leading by 10. Grant kicks to Wade. Here's Portis, and that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've come out strong. I mean, clearly they've been the better team so far.
There's 18 seconds left to play here in the first. And here's Barea outside. Dallas, no good that time either. Grant outside. He dishes it to Wade. With 2 seconds left, no good. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. It's the Bulls. They lead by 12. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time score.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Chicago.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
Another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
So the Bulls 5 right now. Portis is out there with Dwayne Wade. Then there's Grant. Then there's Markkanen. And it's Holiday in at the 2-guard spot.
And not what we're accustomed to seeing from him at all from the free throw line.
And the speed of the NBA is something that just can't be measured until you experience it. So, Clark, when you take that into account, who are some of the quickest players right now in the league?
Well, I think you start with Russell Westbrook and John Wall. I don't think there's anybody in the league quicker than those guys with the ball. Those guys can go end to end quicker than anybody. Wall might be the fastest. Westbrook is right there with them.
They grab their own miss. Here's Finney-Smith. Excellent D from Wade.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, as they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound. And I tell you what, he's doing his best to contribute, but he's been out of sync, out of rhythm. Luckily, his team still is in front.
Dallas, no good that time either. The Bulls leading by 12. Now, here's Grant. A shot by Holiday. Nobody around. No good from outside. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Barea, no good.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
And, guys, Wade is a terrific teammate, always willing to give up the ball and share the sugar, if you will, especially when his teammate is wide open.
And the Mavericks call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
The Mavericks have missed both of their free throws tonight, 0 for 2 so far. The first free throw is good. I'm not sure, Greg, there's a player who better fits the description of a grinder than Wes Matthews.
Yeah, so tough, too. I mean, mentally and physically. He talks about inflicting his personality on the team, and he truly is what I'd call a culture builder.
And the foul on Dennis Smith Jr. That's his first foul. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far.
And, you know, I love Chris Dunn when he was in college. He was the 5th overall pick in 2016 from Providence. It hasn't been an easy start for him in his NBA career, but that happens sometimes. It takes a minute. He's had a hard time finding minutes, but he's a hard worker. He's a terrific kid. I think it's just a matter of continuing to grow and develop, trust the process, and this guy's going to be an impact player.
And for Dunn, you saw flashes of what made him such a high pick at times, but overall the consistency, Clark, just wasn't there.
No, it was not, and he forced it a bit and struggled some, particularly on offense. And I think it's something he'll work on and will get better at. He did show great defensive skills as a rookie, so that always will get you an opportunity to play, but he's going to have to be more consistent offensively to be the player I think he can be, which is borderline all-star.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, no let up. The killer instinct on display, trying to put this team away. I love the tenacity.
Levine passes to Portis. Here's Dunn. Offline with the baseline jumper.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following half.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet. Chicago holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They are way out in front, leading by 17. Kenny, what do you think?
They've done a lot of things well, but the way they've taken care of the basketball, valuing each possession so...
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
Cars crossing back and forth over the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge as we welcome you back to Dallas. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. D-Wade really playing well in this one. And so here is Dallas, trailing by 17. Smith Jr. runs the point with Matthews at his side. They're the backcourt. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. And it's Noel in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Here's Wade. He has 7. Mirotic the screen. For 3, Levine. Lopez dishes to Dunn over Smith, and the rejection by Smith. It's Matthews on the wing, guarded by Levine. Smith missing again.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
And Clark, when you look around the league today, is there a player that you watched and think, hey, yeah, that reminds me of how I used to play?
There are a number of guys that come to mind a little bit. Tobias Harris is an outstanding player, terrific young player and young man. Has a game similar to mine in that he's really versatile, does a lot of things well, not super flashy, but very productive. He comes to mind right off the top of my head currently.
The Mavericks have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line.
And Dennis Smith Jr., the 9th overall pick in this year's draft, but voted by his fellow rookies as the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. The Mavericks giving him every opportunity as their point guard of the future.
Mavericks making a switch here. Curry's checked in, and the foul on Dennis Smith Jr. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. J.J. Barea checked in for the Mavericks. And Chicago also making a switch. Justin Holiday's checked in for Dwayne Wade. 1:51 left here in the 3rd quarter. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Dallas will take possession. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected head coaches in the league, especially for his X's and O's. But Bucks coach Jason Kidd, who played for Carlisle, praised his disposition. He's never up and never down, Kidd said. There's no panic in him. He gives you that sense of security to go out there and make a play. Kevin?
Gotta love Coach Carlisle, D.A., an even-keel guy who places a lot of trust in his players. Levine kicks to Lopez. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Lopez has got his 2nd basket.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
.116 left here in the 3rd quarter. The feed to Noel. And he uses the glass on the layup. Noel's got his first points in this one.
Takes a lot of work to throw Noel off his game when he has the ball near the basket. He's sneaky strong down underneath the hoop and quick as well.
Levine for 3. Can't hit that one. And the Mavericks going the other way now. Barnes outside. Makes it off the glass.
Can't allow Barnes that kind of good position in the post, because once he has it, it's dinner time.
The Bulls leading by 13. Ball's knocked loose. Curry with the steal. To the middle. Here's Noel. And the rebound goes to Lopez.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And Levine, here we go. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Forcing the issue offensively. Levine has that sudden explosiveness. He gets a step and draws the foul.
No good on the 2nd, so he hits 1 of 2. Lopez lays it up off the glass. Lopez has got 4 this quarter.
Letting a guy sneak by for a putback off a free throw, that is inexcusable.
They get the rebound. Harrison Barnes again.
Barnes is strong and athletic, aggressive on the glass, not afraid to get in there and mix it up.
Three-pointer, Wade, and it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And so it's Chicago, sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And let's listen to head coach Rick Carlisle review the game plan with his guys.
It's not always going to be perfect, right? Sometimes we got to scramble and work it.
Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. The Bulls leading by 14. Taking a look at the Bulls. Dunn and Levine, their backcourt. Portis is out there with Robin Lopez. And it's Wade in at the small forward position. And that one's good by Lopez.
Boy, the defense looked helpless there. I mean, he's going to lay it up every time when he's got a smaller defender on him.
Here's Smith. And the layup falls.
Yeah, Smith makes you pay when he gets inside. Despite not being that big, he's got a lot of game in the paint.
Well, Clark, you had the distinct honor of playing horse against the former president of the U.S., Barack Obama. You lost that game, I don't want to remind you, but I want an honest answer. Did you let him win that contest?
Kevin, the deal is that it was an unbelievable privilege to play POTUS. We changed the letters of that game back in 2010, and I let the president up. I gave him life after I had him down. and he took advantage of turning the momentum in his favor. He won fair and square. I did give him an opportunity to win, but he's on top in that matchup, and I think it ended up being good television. And while some of my former teammates look at me with disdain for having lost a horse game to the president, I think it was all intended to end just the way it did.
Mavericks making a switch here. Noel's checked in.
And you know, most NBA fans know Zach LaVine for his incredible performances at the All-Star Dunk Contest, and admittedly, he put on several shows with that high wire act of his, but he started to round into a more complete player, and dunking is becoming less and less a part of his arsenal in terms of what he brings to the team.
They set the pick. They double him with Matthews. Hangs in the air, and it's Wade. That time on the assist by LaVine.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority, very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for the Bulls.
This was a physical game.
Yeah, I mean, they were aware of the rotations defensively and were able to attack the rim.
And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Measuring, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Barnes. Curry's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. Finney-Smith, rebound by the Bulls. Mirotic has got his third rebound tonight. And with LaVine, you really saw his development last season with his all-around game. Clark, his scoring was way up, but his efficiency and the impact on the floor were notable improvements as well.
Well, part of that, Kevin, was due to the fact that he continues to get better as a three-point threat. When you have to respect his shot, it really does create openings for him to drive to the hoop where he's excellent. You knew he had tremendous upside coming out of college, and he's starting to fulfill that upside potential now.
Felicio with the bucket, and the Bulls lead by 20.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Exactly, cold-blooded. Separation solidified. Great effort.
Barea against Grant.
Dallas foul. JJ Grant. That's his first personal foul. Shooting for Chicago. Jared Grant.
And that one misses.
And for so long, the Bulls really were synonymous with the best defensive teams in the league. But as a team, they've started to slip the last few years. It's something that has been lost while this team kind of retools for the future.
David Nwaba is checked in for the Bulls. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Grant the pass to Markkanen. Grant kicks to Felicio. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
And Greg, you know how hard it is to win on the road, but they seem to have this one firmly in control and have been very impressive today.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you later.